Thank you for joining us today. Dave Miller, president here at eMAM, and I have with me Alex Baby from our technical team. He's going to present some ideas and thoughts on workflow automation and setting up workflows with eMAM. So there's a lot to cover. In our Chalkless talks, we try to keep it short, 10 or 15 minutes, and we'll have future webinars with more case studies and more details on that. And of course, our team and our tech and our partners happy to discuss with you how to set up a whole range of infinite variety of workflows inside the eMAM system. So, but thanks for joining us. Let me turn over to Alex, and he'll be presenting today. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Chalkless talk session. I'm going to walk you through eMAM workflow automation, how it works, what it can do, and some real examples of customers putting it to work. Here is what we'll cover. We will start with the what workflow automation actually is, then break down the 3 building blocks: events, conditions, and actions. After that, I will show you 5 real-world use cases, and we will wrap up with some key benefits. So what is workflow automation in eMAM? At its core, it's a set of automated actions that fire when certain conditions are met, without anyone having to lift a finger. You configure it once, and it just runs 24/7 in the background. You can have multiple workflows running in parallel, each one doing its own thing. Every workflow follows this flow. An event happens, the system checks the conditions, and if everything matches, it executes the actions. A few things to note: each workflow has one event trigger, but can have multiple actions. And you can activate or deactivate any workflows on demand. So you're always in control. Let's start with the events. These are your workflow triggers. Something happens and that kicks things off. As of now, we support 6 event types. Ingest. This fires when an asset is ingested into eMAM. It's probably the most commonly used trigger. Custom metadata change. Anytime a metadata field gets updated, this can trigger a workflow. Very powerful for chaining the workflows together, which you will see later. Asset info change. This is specifically for when the asset title, author, or description changes. Then button metadata click. This one is interesting. You can configure a button right in the metadata widget, and when a user clicks it, a workflow fires. It gives a manual trigger point when they need one. We will go through the manual way of triggering the workflows and the automated one as well. And the cloud upload. It fires on cloud upload events, whether it's completer or error out. And finally, the scheduler. It triggers automatically at a specified date and time. It's great for time-based operations like schedule purge, schedule delivery, or delayed processing. It's a screenshot from the eMAM super admin. We will definitely go to the interface. So you can see all the event types here. Next up, conditions. This is a smart way of filtering layer. Conditions make sure your actions only fire when the right criteria are met. No false triggers, no wasted processing. You define conditions using 3 parts: a field like file name, asset type, ingest status, etc. An operator equals contains greater than or between for dates and numbers, and a value. It can be like completed, video, upload completed, and so on. The real power here is that you can combine multiple conditions using and or logic. So you can really precise about when a workflow should or should not fire. Again, screenshots from the super admin, you can see the condition fields, the operator, and obviously the values. And now the fun part, actions. This is what actually gets done when your event fires and your conditions are met. We have 8 action types. Delivery, send the asset to a delivery profile with a defined priority. Archive, move it to an archive storage location. Change metadata, update or map metadata fields automatically. Notify, send notifications via email, URI, or REST calls with OAuth 2.0 support. That means we can call external systems through the REST API. AI indexing, extract insights and transcript using the AI services. Create proxy, generate a proxy with a chosen transcoding profile. Manage category, add or move assets into different categories. And manage project, add assets to projects automatically. One important thing, a single workflow can carry multiple action types. So one trigger can kick off a whole chain of operations in one go. Again, here are the action types which are available at this moment. Now, let's see this in action. Auto deliver on ingest. Picture a broadcast team that ingests dozens of assets every day. Right now, someone has to manually queue each for delivery. That's tedious and easy to miss. With workflow automation, we set it up like this. The event is ingest. The conditions check. The conditions check that the ingest status is completed and the asset type is video, and the action is delivery, specifically to the broadcast profile with a priority file. The result, the moment video finishes ingesting, it's automatically dispatched. No manual queue management. Editors can focus on their content, not on logistics. So this is a sample workflow we set up for that. Just status equal to completed, type equal to video, and the event trigger or the event type is ingest. So whenever ingest happens, and if it is matching these conditions, it will do the delivery automatically. So another use case is the AI indexing, AI workflow. Maybe a media archive team needs transcript and content insights for every new video. Manually submitting each asset to an AI vendor, it's really time consuming and it can be error prone. The workflow setup is almost identical to the previous one. Same event, same conditions, but this time the action is AI indexing. Sending it to Microsoft Indexer for the scene detection, face recognition, keyword extraction, and the transcription. The result is that the entire archive becomes fully searchable automatically without a single manual submission. This is how we set up the AI indexing workflow in SuperAdmin. Now we have the auto create proxy after the instant asset ingest. Here's a scenario like a new team uses instant ingest to get assets into eMAM as fast as possible. But there is a catch. Instant ingest skips proxy and thumbnail generation. So assets show up in the browse widget without preview and a thumbnail. The fix is a workflow where the event is ingest and the condition check for ingest profile equals to instant ingest and the status equal to completed, and the action is create proxy with appropriate storage and ingest profiles. The moment instant ingest completes, the proxy generation kicks off automatically. Once transcoding is finished, the asset shows up with a full thumbnail and preview. 0 manual steps, and you can track the status in dashboard under the workflow tab. So I will try to switch to eMAM superadmin to show this. Again, this is how we configure it in the superadmin. Let me try to switch to the actual interface. Sorry. Okay, this is the eMAM director. Before that, let me show you the superadmin interface. So we have the create proxy workflow configured here. Okay, so you can see it's a create proxy, and it's checking for the type of asset. Then it's doing a create proxy workflow as an action. Now let's try to do the same from the interface. So this is the direct interface, and this asset is not having the thumbnail or proxy. I'm going to the create proxy button. I'm trying to trigger this one from the button metadata now instead of the automated ingest. It can be triggered either way. Now let me take the dashboard and go to the workflow dashboard. Now you can see the asset is having a thumbnail, and if I switch to the preview widget, should be able to see the proxy as well. Yeah. So this way I simply clicked on a button to trigger a workflow, and it just created the proxy and thumbnail. Now let me switch back to the PPT. Okay, okay, so you are here. Now the chained scheduler workflows. This is the one I really want to pay attention to. Use case for chained scheduler workflow for automated asset purge. This is a real customer scenario. Assets ingested from the raw profile need to be automatically purged after grace period with a backup. 3 workflows handle the entire lifecycle, completely hands-free. Workflow 1, it fires on ingest. When a raw asset completes and it exists in the eMAM online storage, it sets a custom metadata field called schedule backup to today plus 60 days. Workflow 2, it uses scheduler event. When that schedule backup date arrives, it moves the asset to raw backup. And set the purge metadata field to full. It sets another date field. It's a scheduler metadata to today plus 30 days. And the third workflow, it fires another scheduler, the raw backup. So on that date, it execute a full purge across all storages, sources like the cloud, eMAM storage, archive, proxy, etc. So the result is it's a fully automated 90-day purge lifecycle, 60-day grace period, 30-day backup window, then completes purge, zero manual steps. This is a great example of how workload can chain together to handle complex and multi-stage operations. So this is an example how we can configure it in the superadmin workflow section. Here it's setting the first 60-day grace period with the schedule metadata. And when that reaches, it executes again, it moves the assets to a category, then it changes the metadata, a specific metadata, so it can be searchable later. And it's also updating another scheduler plus 30 days. And when that plus 30 days hits, it's deleting all the assets from the online. So we can connect all these workflows together in the superadmin. Now let's discuss the REST API notify use case. So with this one, eMAM can talk to other external systems. Maybe consider the scenario. After ingest completes, an external system, maybe a DAM or a CMS or a production tracker, needs to know about it so it can update its own records. That system exposes a REST API. The workflow is straightforward. Event is ingest, condition is ingest status equal to completed, and the action is REST post. So we need to get the endpoint to the other system, the authentication mechanism, etc. And what should be the body, how we should pass it to the other system. All those should be in place before configuring this in superadmin. And once it is configured, when the ingest completes, eMAM fires that authenticated post automatically. The receiving system processes the payload and update its own database. No manual handoff, no polling, no missed updates. It's a clean integration point. So I'll try to switch to eMAM superadmin quickly to show you that. Okay, let me edit this workflow. So I'm trying to make a post call to this endpoint. It's a webhook.site. So you can see I'm using a button metadata here and as a type equal to video. Then it is calling this endpoint. I have these variables in place. We can give whatever variables we need to. We can pass all this information to the external system. So these are the data I'm going to pass to the other system. Now, let me try to, before that, let me show you this one. There is no request at this moment. Now let me try to send this asset to the other system. And if you look at here, now we have a incoming request. And here you can see the asset ID, the title of the asset, and the UUID. So whatever information we need to pass to the other system, we can do it. Now let me come back to the PPT. Okay, we were here, notify. And this is something we already saw in the other interface. So to sum up the benefits, so zero manual effort. Workflows run automatically once activated. One-time setup, configure it once and it just keeps working. Fully customizable, mix and match any combination of events, conditions, and actions. AI ready. It's a built-in AI indexing for transcript and insights, smart notifications, email, URI, or REST with the OAuth 2.0, and end-to-end coverage. It bridges ingest, delivery, archive, metadata, AI, cloud, etc. in one system. And that's it. Yeah, eMAM workflow automation, making your media operations smarter, faster, and effortless.
Great.
I'm happy to take any questions now.
Great. Thanks a lot, Alex. A lot of great stuff. Yeah, so to some people, this will look really, really complicated. So obviously, we have some customers who are doing a lot around this. And if and when needed, we have our partners are there to help, and then our team is there to help to set up processes, everything else, either on an additional installation, initial installation, or as needed to meet future needs. So we have organizations doing a huge variety of different things with these tools. So pretty fun stuff. Question is, works on premise in the cloud? Sure. You know, Lambda functions or on-premise integrations, etc. That's all fine. See if there's any other questions. For setting up for a failed process. So, Alex, we can just send it, you know, whether it's sending notifications or send up for reprocessing. Anything to add to that in terms of when a process fails, like a transcode?
We can set up notifications for the end user so they know something went wrong, and there can be different reasons why it failed. And again, that's going to be a different troubleshooting session. But again, we can configure notifications to let them know. And also we have the options to override the transcoder maybe to a different one, because in some places or some cases, one transcoder may fail, but the other can pick it up. So we can set up the auto failure mechanisms as well.
Sure. Yeah. Very often with people have a lot of different kinds of media, we suggest they have multiple different transcoders because some transcoders fail on some formats and codecs. So in any case, I want to thank everybody, and if there's no other further questions, for joining us today. We have these sessions every week. Try to keep a brief overview of one part of process or workflow or tools, and we'll have a longer webinar next week on workflows and processes and case studies. But thank you for your interest today, and let us know or let our partners know anything we can do to help. Have a great day. Thank you. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone. Bye.